Good afternoon, Attorney Rob.
Hey, good afternoon. It's already 2:01. May quorum na tayo.
Yes, sir, we do have a quorum na.
Sige, we'll just hold on na. Okay, let's start the meeting. Secretariat, can we do a quick roll call, please?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Please acknowledge once your name is called. We're presiding officer, Attorney Roberto Martin Benaventura,
Present, ma'am.
Lieutenant Colonel Valentino Janela, Engineer Cecilio Ortiz,
Good afternoon, present online.
Miss Amneris Gabriel is here, Miss Diana Ines Briñas.
Present online.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Our end user from the ANS, Miss Rose Tan.
Good afternoon, present.
Good afternoon, ma'am. For the back technical working group, we also have, sir, our end user from the ADMS, Mr. Emerson Salas. For the back technical working group, Attorney Frank Edward Marty,
Present.
Attorney Edelisa Irugin, Engineer Alexander Abag, Engineer Raul Crosena, Engineer Michael Ian Ilagan, Engineer Darwin Lintag, Engineer Eva Lisatin,
Present po online.
Engineer April Joy Puruganan,
Present po.
Engineer Joffran Joseph Torrefranca,
Present po online.
Engineer Norik Baez, Engineer Gary Jadi,
Present po, ma'am, online.
Engineer Adelio M. Arganda, and Miss Maria Cristina Balonan. For the back secretariat, our overall head, Dr. Rodi Bayaban, Irish Prasyon, Miss Melina Reyes,
Present online.
Mr. Sonny Villabert,
Present. Good afternoon.
our minutes taker, Mr. Thomas Duke Santos,
Present, ma'am.
Miss Eloisa Casimiro, Miss Charisma Aquino, Miss Sofia Fulmaran, Miss Sandra Serdan, Mr. Nathaniel Tordesillas,
Present, ma'am.
and Miss Rita Linda Pileo. Sir, we also sent our invitation letters to our observers from the COA, from the IAS. We also have observers from the DOTR, sir, Mr. Abelardo Sore.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. We also sent our letter invitation to PCCI and ASFI. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Irish. Well, let's proceed with the items on the agenda. I think we have now the first item is the opening. Opening ba to? Tama ba?
Yes, sir, opening.
Okay. Opening of bids for purchase installation of communications equipment for Calbayog Airport amounting to 13,200,000 pesos. Do we have a bidder for this?
No, sir, we do not have any bidder for this, sir.
Wala na, no?
Wala,
So
sir.
the time for the filing has already lapsed, and there being no bidder, what is the recommendation of the TWG on this?
Mr. Chair, the TWG would like to recommend that the project purchase and installation of communication equipment for Calbayog Airport, which is bid number 21-1708 Charlie, to declare failure for this project, Mr. Chair. And should the BAC approve the recommendation of the TWG for the declaration of failure of bidding, we recommend for the reposting of the project, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Attorney Frank. So there is a recommendation for the failure of bidding considering there is no bid submitted for this project. Members, can we have a motion for this, please, just for the two portion on this item? Can we have a motion? Thank you.
Mr. Chair, motion to declare
Yes,
for
yes, sir, Ken.
installation communication equipment. for Calbayog Airport to be declared as a failure and for its reposting as recommended by the TWG.
I second the
Thank you, sir.
motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. There being a motion, duly seconded. So this project entitled Purchase Installation of Communications Equipment for Calbayog Airport is hereby declared failed. And this project, this is the first time, not Attorney Frank.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Considering this is the first failure of bidding, let it be posted to start the process for the rebidding of this project. And you, sir, can we just coordinate, please, for the documentation for the posting? Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Sige, let's move forward to the next item in the agenda. Pre-bid confidence on the following projects. The first one is the construction of the PTV, Phase 1 at Osamis Airport, amounting to 222,23,950 pesos 57 cents. And ADM plus DOT are down on this project. Do we have bidders waiting for this?
Yes, sir, we do have bidders waiting for this, sir. We have 4 bidders, Bitilao, St. Timothy, and Hashtag and Ronmark Construction, sir.
Sige, are they physically present?
No, sir, they are just online, sir.
Online. Sige, let's admit them already.
Thank you. Yan ang original dito. Yan ang original. Ito?
Hindi, sir.
Good afternoon. To our bidders online, may I just confirm if you are here for the pre-bid of the construction of a new passenger terminal Phase 1 at Osamis Airport? For those who will be participating for this project, may you introduce yourselves and the company that you represent, please. Thank you. May we start with Bitilao?
Attorney Irish, in the interest of time, ganito na lang, no? We'll proceed with the presentation and then during the question and answer. If you have bidders present and to those that are about to join, maybe watching online, please introduce yourself and the company you represent before raising your questions. But for now, let's have the TWG present, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Engineer Raul Cruzeno, Mr. Chair, will present for the project, Osamis Airport Development Project. Engineer Cruzeno, please share the presentation.
Yes, attorney. Share ko lang po yung ano. Ay. Through the secretariat, kita na po ba yung ano, yung share document?
Yes, sir. Nakikita
Yes, sir.
na po.
Thank you po. To begin po, good afternoon, Mr. Chair, and to the member of the Bid and Award Committee. I will now present the pre-bid for the construction of new passenger terminal building Phase 1 at Osamis Airport with bid number 21-019-09 Charlie. The procuring entity is the Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, and The funding source is the GOP through the source of fund GAACY 2017 from the OTR downloaded project in the amount of 222 million 23,935 pesos and 37 centavos. For ITB 3, Certificate of Site Inspection, duly signed by Mr. Edwin B. Luching, Officer in Charge of Osamis Airport, with the additional document, copy of the company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection, copy of the airport facility visitor's logbook, and pictures of the proposed site, including the personnel who conducted the site inspection together with the airport manager, officer in charge, or his duly authorized representative. This is the sample. For ITB 5.2, for this purpose, similar contract shall be building construction, improvement, rehabilitation, and repair. For ITB 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. For ITB 10.1, bidder shall submit all eligibility and technical document as specified in Section 10, checklist of the technical and financial document. For the Class A document, legal document, valid PhilJEB's registration certificate, platinum membership, registration certificate from SEC, DTI, or CDA, mayor's or business permit, tax clearance. In connection with GPP Circular 7-2017, the bidder shall have the following option: submit the certificate of PhilJEB registration and platinum membership, it's Class A, Annex A, in lieu of the uploaded Class A. Eligibility document identified in Section 8.5.2 of the IRR 9184. Number 2, submit the combination of PhilJEB registration and platinum membership, including its Annex A and Class A eligibility document identified in 8.5.2 of the revised IRR of 9184. In the event that for said Class A eligibility document listed in the Annex A of the PhilJEB's registration and platinum membership is or reflected to be outdated, the bidder shall submit such current and updated Class A eligibility document. Submit all Class A eligibility document only, provided that the PhilJEB registration platinum membership shall be submitted as a post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 34.2 of the revised IRR of RA 9184. For technical document, statement of the prospective bidder, all ongoing private and government contract, is statement of the single largest completed contract, pickup license, original copy of the bid security in the form of bid security declaration, project requirements which shall include the following: organizational chart of the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment unit, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement, and this shall include all the following document as attached to omnibus sworn statement: certificate under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government, legal clearance issued by the CAAP Enforcement and Legal Service, bid bulletin if applicable, certificate of site inspection as mentioned before, and then for the financial document, the prospective bidders audited financial statement showing among others the prospective bidder's total and current asset and liability stamped and received by the BIR or his its duly accredited and authorized institution. For Class B document, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence. Applicable CAAP BAC standard form included in Philippine bidding document shall be complied in accordance with the prescribed forms under Section 9 bidding form Annex A and B. For ITB 10.3, valid pickup license or special pickup license in case of joint venture and registration medium B, license category A for vertical works, building and industrial plant for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. For 10.4, the minimum work experience of the key personnel. General experience of 5 years in general engineering and 3 years relevant experience in building construction, improvement, rehabilitation, and repair. For 10.5, the minimum major equipment requirement are the following, as shown in the screen. Okay. For 11.1, the second bid envelope shall contain the financial document for the bidder for the bid as specified in Section 10, checklist, technical, and financial document. This shall include the complete accomplishment of all the following documents as stated and required under Section 8 of the Philippine bidding document, and shall form part of the bidder's financial document. Original or duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, bill of quantities, detailed breakdown, component of each item, detailed unit price analysis, DUPA, summary sheet indicating the unit price of construction material, labor rates, and equipment rental used in the upcoming of with the bid, cash flow by quarter, and payment schedule. Modification and or alteration on the stated requirement in the financial document forms, BOQ, detailed breakdown of component of each item, and DUPA shall not be allowed. Applicable CAAP BAC standard form, including in the Philippine bidding document, shall be complied in accordance with the prescribed form under Section 9 bidding form Annex A and B. For 11.2, bid exceeding the ABC of the project shall be disqualified. For ITB 15.1, bid security shall be in the form of bid securing declaration or any of the following an amount. The amount, letter A, the amount of not less than 2% of ABC if bid security is in cash, cashier's, manager's check, bank draft guarantee, or irrevocable letter of credit. And letter B, the amount of not less than 5% of ABC if bid security is in surety bond. Each and every page thereof shall be initialed, signed by the duly authorized representatives of the bidder. Submitted eligibility, technical and financial documents shall be properly marked with index tab, ear tab, and must be sequentially paginated in an accurate order in the form of example 3 of 100, page number of last page of the document per envelope basis. Pagination should be sequentially based on the entire span of the whole document inside the envelope. Bid not complying with the above instruction shall be disqualified. So this is the illustration for table of content, index tab, pagination, and initial on each page. Each bidder shall submit one original and 2 copies of the first and second component of its bid. This is the 10 envelope system. The main envelope with 3 envelope inside, the original, copy 1 and copy 2, and on each 3 envelope have 2 envelope inside for the original technical and eligibility component and the financial component. All envelope must be labeled as follows: name of the contractor to be bid in capital letter, name and address of the bidder in capital letters, name and address of the procuring entity BAC identified in ITB Clause 10.1, bear the specified identification of this bidding process indicating in the invitation to bid, bear a warning do not open before the date and time for the opening of bid in accordance with ITB Clause 21. The procuring entity address is Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, Mia Road, corner Anino Aquino Avenue, 1300 Pasay City, Metro Manila, to Captain Donaldo Mendoza, Chairman, Bids and Awards Committee, Charlie. The address for the submission of bid is Back Office, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, Mia Road, Pasay City. And the deadlines of submission is on September 29, 2021 at 2 p.m. Partial bid is not allowed. The bid with the lowest calculated bid that complies with the is responsive to all the requirement and conditions shall submit its latest income tax and business tax returns filed through electronic filing and payment system, business license and permit required by the law, latest audited financial statement and key personnel's license, failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirement on time, or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award. For ITB 21, the following relevant documents are required to be submitted by the successful bidder who submitted the LCRB as part of the contract agreement during its signing: construction schedule, bar chart and S-curve, per CPM network diagram, manpower schedule, construction method, equipment utilization schedule. Construction Safety and Health Program approved by the Department of Labor and Employment, construction of the new passenger terminal building, Phase 1 at Osamis Airport. This is the standard form that is are on the Philippine bidding documents. For the checklist, as the same enumerated before, for technical component, envelope, Class A document, valid PhilJEBS registration, registration certificate from SEC, DTI or CDA, mayor's share business permit, tax clearance, statement of all ongoing, the SLCC, pickup license, bid security, for technical document, organizational chart of the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment unit, original duly signed omnibus sworn statement, which includes certificate under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government, legal clearance issued by CAAP Enforcement Legal Service, site inspection, duly signed by Mr. Edwin Luching, officer in charge. Copy of the company ID who conducted the site inspection, copy of the visitor's logbook, and copy of the proposed site, including the personnel who conducted the site inspection and the airport manager or his duly authorized representative. For the financial document, the audited financial statement for Class A document, and for Class B, if applicable, the joint venture agreement duly signed and authorized. For the financial component envelope, original or duly signed and accomplished financial bid form. Original or duly signed bid price in the bill of quantities, detailed breakdown of component of each item, detailed unit price analysis, summary sheet indicating the construction material, labor rates, and equipment rental used in the upcoming with the bid, cash flow by quarter, and payment schedule. For the project detail, the name of the project is the construction of Passenger Terminal Building Phase 1 Osamis with the duration of the 570 calendar days inclusive of 43 rainy and unworkable days. The source of fund is JACY 2017 downloaded project. For the scope of work, the project covers the supply of labor, materials, and equipment necessary for the construction of the new passenger terminal building Phase 1 at Osamis Airport. In the scope of work, for first item is the SPL1, mobilization, demobilization. For item 1, civil structural, includes excavation and disposal of 17,222.40 cubic meter. And for the embankment, the total volume of 8,611.20 cubic meter. For pile drive works, precast concrete file of 443 sets. For item 1.04, concrete work, volume of concrete is 3,551 cubic meter. For item 1.05, concrete pedestal and manhole for electrical, volume of concrete is 393 cubic meter. For item 1.06, RMU and transformer concrete pad with security fence, volume concrete of 48 cubic meter. For item 1.07, masonry work with a total masonry work of 2,992.66 square meter. For item 1.08, steel work, total weight of steel 237,316.64 kilos. For roofing, a total area of roofing work of 10,316.61 square meter. For item 2, architectural work, 2.01, ceiling work with an area of 3,768.60 square meter. For item 2.02, wall finishes work, total area is 1,422.00 square meter. For item 2.03, painting works, total area 10,853.17 square meter. 2.04, ramp railing, signage, and thermal scan booth. For ramp is 26.70 linear meter, signage of 3 sets, thermal scan booth of 2 sets. For doors and window, for item 3, the plumbing works, site works, sewer line, water line, storm drainage, septic tanks and catch basin, elevator pit, and indoor landscape. For item 4, electrical work, we have lighting and power, air conditioning unit power system, background music and public address system, fire detection and alarm system, communication and data system, CCTV and FIDS system, baggage handling system, elevator and escalator system, grounding system, panel board, circuit breaker, wire cutter, feeder sub, feeder line, transformer accessories, and metering equipment, line material, hanger support, and transmission accessories, termination accessories. We have also the item 5, mechanical work. for SPL2, temporary facility, staff house, and service vehicle. All scope of work for the project must be in accordance with the approved plans and specification. Quality and types of materials must be approved by the CAAP project in charge. For the general provision of staff house, service vehicle, laptop, printers, camera, plotter, furnitures, and other materials, device, and equipment under special item temporary facility shall include in the OCM and CP. The contractor shall be responsible in providing safety perimeter fence or security fence, personal protective equipment for staff and worker on site while construction is ongoing. Safety reports shall be prepared regularly. The contractor shall be responsible for all laboratory material testing, building and safety permit, and survey instrument necessary in the project implementation. These expenses shall be incorporated in the contractor's overhead costs and shall not be considered as pay item. That's all, Mr. Chair. And for the presentation for the pre-bid of Osamis Airport.
Thank you, Engineer. At this juncture, we are opening the floor for any queries from any of our attendees. Again, let me just reiterate, as I said earlier, as you raise your question, kindly introduce yourself and the company that you represent for record purposes. Bidders, do we have any questions?
Mr. Chair, we have
Yes.
bidders present here at the CAAP conference room, sir. They would like to ask a question. Sir, please
Go ahead,
introduce
please.
yourself and the company that you represent.
Pwede ba siya hindi natin?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes,
From
sir.
Atlantic Directors. I'm Engineer Romulo Soriano. Sir, dun sa...
Go ahead po.
Tanong ko lang dun sa site inspection. Kasi dito ka sa Manila, talagang requirement ba yun na magkaroon ng yung certificate
sige
of
po.
site inspection?
Attorney Frank, can you answer? Yes, that's a mandatory requirement, but let's just cite the provision, please, Attorney Frank.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Yes po, sir, requirement po natin yung site inspection po. Even po yung mga bidders po na they're located from other areas outside of Osamis, still pumupunta po sila sa Osamis para mag-conduct ng site inspection po.
Okay. Ayun po,
Kasama
sir.
po dun sa
We
technical
require
solution,
that
sir.
po for all our biddings, no? Because we want to ensure na you have an idea of what you're getting into, and one of it is really knowing the specifications of our airport, and particularly the areas that you will have to be working on. So it is a requirement po, sir. Hindi po namin yan pwede tanggalin po. You have any other questions?
One question pa po from Atlantic Directors. My name is Patrick Buenaobra. Sir, regarding lang po sa SLCC, meron ho ba tayong specific years na nakalagay?
SLCC
Luigi?
o hindi, wala na.
Engineer?
Pwede kong pa-flash doon sa SLCC po natin. Sa taas pa po, sir, yung sa similar contract. Yan po yung SLCC requirement po natin, sir. Although hindi naman po nakalagay po yung date of kung kailan yung period lang po. So, open naman po siya. Apo.
Thank you po, thank you.
Okay. Do you have any other questions from our prospective bidders online and present in the conference room? Wala na po ba? In any case po, kung hindi niyo po na-raise yung questions niyo dito, you still have an opportunity to write us at least 10 days before the scheduled opening. Attorney Frank, when is our scheduled opening?
Sir, the
Secretariat?
scheduled opening is on September 29, so they have until September 19 or September 19, sir, before to submit their queries, sir.
Okay. Should you have any queries, you can send it to us in writing and we will answer them. If there are no more questions here, can we excuse the bidders? Thank you po for attending. If you have questions po, just reach out to our secretariat. We will answer all of it for you po. We suggest you go online and check the documents and look at it very carefully, and any questions that you will have, erase yun about before the opening date. Thank you everyone for attending. Let's already dismiss the bidders. Thank you po. Okay na tayo?
Just clearing the Google Meet room, sir. Do our bidders online, those who will not participate for the Antica project, can you please leave the room? Sir? Should you not leave the meeting room, we will assume that you will be participating for the Antique project. Mr. Chair, I think we could proceed na, sir.
Sige. Moving on to the next item in the agenda. It's also a PBID conference. Let me read it. PBID conference for Antique Airport Development Project, widening of runway shoulder grade correction, provision of stopway and RESA, amounting to 95 billion. Do we have bidders for this? Present?
Yes, sir. We have bidders present online, sir.
Sige. Similarly, let's proceed with the presentation first. And for the bidders, should you have questions later, raise it by first introducing yourself and the company you represent for record purposes. TWG, let's proceed, please.
Engineer Eva Lasatin, sir, will present on behalf of the technical working group. Engineer Eva, please.
Good afternoon. Nakikita niyo po yung screen ko.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. I will present Antique Airport Development Project CY 2021, widening of runway, runway markings, runway shoulder, grade correction, provision of stopway and RESA, and provision of manhole and RCPs. Bid data sheet, ITB clause 1.0, the procuring entity is Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. The name of the contract, Antique Airport Development Project, CY 2021, widening of runway, runway markings, runway shoulder grades correction, provision of stopway and RESA, and provision of manhole and RCPC. The funding source is the GOP through the source of PAN J8 CY 2021. The OTR downloaded projects in the amount of 95,721,536 pesos and 6 centavos. For ITB Clause 3.0, Certificate of Site Inspection, uh, duly signed by Juanito Ethan Chico, Jr., Airport Manager of Antique Airport, or his duly authorized representative is required to be submitted. This shall include all the following documents as attached to the Certificate of Site Inspection and shall form part of the bidder's technical documents. A copy of company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection, copy of the airport facility visitor logbook, and pictures of the proposed site including the personnel who conducted the site inspection, together with the airport manager office in charge or his duly authorized representative. Bids not complying with the above instruction shall be disqualified. Uh, this is the sample of Certificate of Site Inspection, Company ID, and Airport Logbook. For ITB Clause 5.2, for this purpose, similar contracts shall refer to the contracts which have same major categories of work shall be concreting of roads and other horizontal structures. ITB Clause 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. Bidder shall submit all eligibility and technical documents as specified in Section 10, Checklist of Technical and Financial Documents. For Class A documents, legal documents, valid PhilJobs registration certificate, registration certificate from SEC, DTI for sole proprietorship, or CDA for cooperatives. Mayor's or business permit issued by the city or municipality where the principal place of business of the prospective bidders is located. Tax clearance as finally reviewed and approved by BIR. In connection to GPB Circular 07-2017 dated 31 July 2017, the bidder shall have the following option: submit the Certificate of PhilJobs registration and Platinum membership, eligibility documents identified by the revised IRR of 9184. Number 2 is submit a combination of PhilJobs registration and Platinum membership, including its Annex A and Annex B. Submit all Class A eligibility documents only, provided that PhilJobs registration and Platinum membership shall be submitted as a post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 34 of the revised IRR of 9184. For technical documents, statement of prospective bidder of all its ongoing and government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complicity to the contract to be bid. Statement of the bidders, SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid, except under condition provided under the rules. And pickup license or special pickup license in case of joint ventures. Original copy of bid security in the form of surety bond. Project requirements, which shall include the following: organizational chart for the project to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units, original duly signed omnibus warrant statement, and this include all the following documents as attached to the omnibus warrant statement: certificate under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government, legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP enforcement and legal service with respect to non-pending cases of the prospective bidders against this authority, and bid bulletins if applicable, certificate of site inspection as mentioned earlier. For financial documents, the prospective bidders audited financial statements showing, among others, that prospective bidders' total and current asset and liabilities stamp received by the BIR and its duly accredited and authorized institution. For Class B documents, if applicable, duly signed joint venture in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case the joint venture is already in existence. Applicable CAAP BAC standard forms included in this PBD shall be complied in accordance with the prescribed forms under Section 9 bidding forms, Annexes A and B. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For item 3, I-10.3, valid pickup license or special pickup license in case of joint ventures and registration, medium A category B for horizontal works, road, highway, pavement, railways, airport, horizontal structures, and bridges for the type and cost of the contract to be bid. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For item 10.4, the minimum work experience for the key personnel are the following. Shown on your screen, we have need 5 years in general engineering and relative experience is 3 years in concreting of roads or other horizontal structures. The minimum major equipment requirements are the following, shown on your screen. The discount stated in the financial bid form shall be computer written in the same font, style, and size as of the whole text of the said form. Discount that are either handwritten, typewritten, or computer written in other font, style, and size shall not be considered. Bids not complying with the above instruction shall be disqualified. The second bid envelope shall contain the financial documents for the bid as specified in Section 10, checklist of technical and financial documents. These include the complete accomplishment of the following document as stated required under Section 8 of this PBD and shall form part of the bidder's financial document, shall include original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, bill of quantities, detailed breakdown of component of each item, and DUPA, and summary sheet indicating the unit price of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rental used in coming up with the bid, cash flow by quarter, and payment schedule. Modification and or alteration on the stated requirements in the financial document forms or BOQ detailed breakdown of component of each item and DUPA shall not be allowed. Applicable CAAP standard forms, including in this PBD, shall be complied in accordance with the prescribed forms under Section 9 bidding forms, Annexes A and B. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. ITB Clause 11.2, bid exceeding the ABC of the project shall be disqualified. ITB Clause 15.1, the bid security shall be in the form of bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amounts. The amount of not less than 2% of ABC, the amount of not less than 5% of ABC if bid security is in surety bond. ITB Clause 16, each and every page thereof shall be initialed, signed by the duly authorized representatives of the bidder. Submit eligibility technical and financial document shall be properly marked with index tab and must be subsequently paginated in accurate order in the form of page 3 of 100, page number of last page of the document per envelope basis. Pagination should be sequential based on the entire span of the whole documents inside the envelope. Bids not complying with the above instruction shall be disqualified. This is the sample illustration, the table content, index tab, and initial sign and paginated in accurate order. ITB Clause 16, each bidder shall submit one original and 2 copies of first and second components of bid. Bids not complying shall be disqualified. Sample illustration. 10 envelope system, the main envelope with the original bid, copy 1 and copy 2, and inside the original bid is the technical eligibility and financial components. Same with the copy 1 and copy 2. All envelopes must be labeled as follow. Name of the contract to be bid in capital letters, name and address of the bidder in capital letters, name and address of the procuring entity, box identified in the ITB clause number 10.1, bear that specific identification of the bidding process indicated in the envelope to be bid, invitation to be bid, bear a warning, do not open before the date and time for the opening of bids in accordance with ITB clause 21. ITB 16. Procuring entity's address is Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, Mia Road, corner, Ninoy Aquino Avenue, Pasay City. Address to Captain Donaldo A. Mendoza, Chairman's Bids and Awards Committee, Charlie. The address for submission of bids is Back Office, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, Mia Road, corner, Ninoy Aquino Avenue, Pasay City. The deadline for submission of bids is at 29 of September 2021, 2 p.m. And the place of bid opening is CAAP Conference Room, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines, Mia Road, corner Ninoy Aquino Avenue, Pasay City. And the date and time of bid opening is on 29 of September 2021, 2 p.m. ITB 19.2, partial bid is not allowed. The infrastructure project is packaged in a single lot, and the lot shall not be divided into sublots for the purpose of bidding, evaluation, and contract award. ITB Clause 2.0, the bidder with the lowest calculated bid, LCB, that complies with and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions shall submit its latest income and business tax returns, business license and permits, latest audited financial statement, and key personnel license. Failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or a finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award. The ITB Clause 21. The following relevant project documents are required to be submitted by the successful bidder who submitted the LCRB as part of the contract agreement during its signing. Construction schedule, bar chart and S-curve, PERT CPM, network diagram, manpower schedule, construction methods, and equipment utilization schedule. The construction, safety, and health programs approved by the DOLE, Antique Airport Development Project, widening of runway markings, runway shoulder, grade correction, provision of stopway, and RESA, and provision of manhole and RCPC. This is the CAAP standard, CAAP BAC standard forms. For the checklist, checklist of technical and financial documents or technical component envelope, Class A envelope, legal documents, have a valid PhilJEPS registration certificate from SEC, DTI, or CDA, mayor's business permit, tax clearance, statement of prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of the bidder's SLCC, PCAB license or special PCAB license, original copy of bid security, organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, and list of contractors' major equipment units. Original duly signed omnibus sworn statement, and if applicable, original notarized secretary's certificate in case of corporation. This shall include all the following documents as attached to the Omnibus Sworn Statement: certificate under oath attesting that they have no pending case against the government, legal clearance to be issued by CAAP ELS, bid bulletins if applicable, certificate of site inspection duly signed by Juanito Tanchico Jr., manager of Antique Airport, or his duly signed representative. Okay. This include the following as mentioned earlier. For financial documents, the prospective bidders audited financial statement showing, among others, the prospective bidders' total current asset and liabilities stamped and received by the BIR. Prospective bidders' computation of NFCC for Class B documents, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement, duly notarized statement from all the potential joint venture partners stating that they will enter into and abide by the provision of the joint venture in an instance that bid is successful. For financial component envelope, original signed and accomplished financial bid form, original signed bid price in the bill of quantities, detailed breakdown of component of each item, DUPA, summary sheet indicating unit price of construction material, labor rates, equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid, cash flow by quarter and payment schedule, or project technical details. Name of project: Antique Airport Development Project, widening of runway markings, runway shoulder, grade correction, provision of stopway and RESA, provision of manual and RCPC. Location: Punta Dalipes, San Jose de Buenavista, Antique. Duration: 270 calendar days, inclusive 36 rainy unworkable days. Source of funds: JA 2021 DOTR downloaded projects. The project covers the supply of labor, materials, and equipment necessary for Antique Airport Development Project. The details of the work are best enumerated below. The following scope of work shall be done in accordance with the approved plan, specification, and provision of the contract. For SPL-1, mobilization and demobilization. For widening of runway, including runway shoulder grade correction, we have removal of existing pavement, PCC. This items covers a total area of 731.08 square meters. Item P-152-4.2, clearing and grabbing, covers total area of 42,900 square meters. For item P-152-1, excavation, coverage, volume 17,028.96 cubic meter. For item P-152-2, embankment. Item P-154-5.1, aggregate sub-base course. Okay. For item P-208-5.1, aggregate base course, covers the total volume of 4,290, including shrinkage factor. Okay. Portland cement is Portland item P-501, Portland cement concrete pavement. Item P-620, runway markings, new painting and repainting. Okay. Letter B, provision of stopway and RESA. Item P-152-4.2, clearing and grabbing. Total area is 9,300 square meter. We have item P-152-1 excavation, volume of 3,607.11. Item P-152-2 embankment, and we have item P-154-5.1 aggregate sub-base course. Item P-2015.1 aggregate base course. Item 501 Portland cement concrete pavement. Okay, the entire detail of scoop nasa BDS po. So downloadable naman po siya. So hindi ko na po babanggitin lahat. Provision of manhole and RCPC. We have site works, civil structural works, reinforcement concrete pipe culvert, embankment works at the proposed RCPC. Okay. We have temporary facilities, staff house, and service vehicles. All scope of work for the project must be in accordance with the approved plans and specification. Quality and types of materials must be approved by the CAAP project in charge. Okay. The general provision for the staff house, service vehicles, laptop, printers, camera, plotters, furniture, and other materials, device, and equipment under special item or temporary facility shall not include OCM and CP. The contractor shall be responsible in providing safety perimeter fence or security fences, personal protective equipment for staffs and workers on the site. While construction is ongoing, safety reports will be prepared regularly. The contractor shall be responsible for all laboratory material testing, building and safety permits, survey instruments necessary in the project implementation. These expenses shall be incorporated in the contractor's overhead costs and shall not be considered as pay item. For the site development plan, this is the aerial view of the project. This is the proposed site development plan, proposed runway wide. This is the details of manhole and RCPC. Thank you po. That's all po, Mr. Chair.
For that presentation. At this point, can we have the questions from the prospective bidders? Again, please introduce yourself and the company you represent prior to raising your questions. Do you have any questions?
Yes, sir. I have
Go ahead, ma'am.
question.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I'm from F. Goria Constructions. I'm Jovina Calisterio. I would like to ask, sir, when will be the schedule for the site inspection?
PWG, do you have an answer?
Yes, if I may answer to that, Mr. Chair. Ma'am, the site inspection po, available po siya, anytime po siya, ma'am, office hours po, kasi meron naman pong tao, yung airport manager nandun naman po, at saka kanyang designated representative, authorized representative po. So, pumunta lang po kayo dun sa project site or sa airport mismo ng Antique, and then para masamahan po kayo ng airport manager or yung authorized representative po nila. Anytime po yun, ma'am. Office hours po.
Okay, thank you.
Salamat po.
Okay. Do you have any other questions? May iba pa po ba tayong bidder? Secretariat, meron tayong bang bidders online and present?
We still have, sir. Any bidders online? May question pa po ba kayo? Should you have any questions, you could email the CAAP BAC at caapbaccharlie@gmail.com. We will post this at the chat box na lang po.
Okay. Just to emphasize, that's under the GPPB rules. You're allowed to submit your questions at least 10 days before the opening of the bids. And then our scheduled opening, was it mentioned already? Anong scheduled opening natin? Anong
Also
date?
September 29, Mr. Chair.
September 29. So you have 10 days before September 29 to submit kung di nyo ma-raise ngayon. So just for one last call, may question pa po ba? If wala na, just put it in writing, send it to our office at least 10 days before and we'll answer it. Thank you po for attending. Thank you rin, engineer, for the presentation. Let's close the item already. Move forward to the next item of the agenda. Can we dismiss the attendees, the bidders, please? Thank you for attending.
To our bidders online, our next agenda will be the Zamboanga project. Should you remain in the meeting room, we will assume that you will be participating in this project. If not, you may excuse yourselves from the meeting. Thank you.
Sige, let's move on to the next item of the agenda. Zamboanga International Airport Development Project. Repair of runway, grading of runway strip, and rehabilitation of the PTB, amounting to 230,164,511.72. A DOTR downloaded project. Can we admit the bidders? Meron pa bang waiting? Physically and online? They're all already here. Let's already proceed with the presentation, please.
Sir, we have a bidder here physically present, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. Can I just acknowledge for record?
Sir, please introduce yourself and the company you represent. Pa-press na lang po nun.
Okay. My name is Roberto Quivilla. I'm from Unitec Builder Incorporated, Zamboanga City.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Sige, let's have the presentation already, please.
The technical working group, sir, would like to present the project through Engineer April Puhuganan. Engineer Puhuganan, please.
Good afternoon po. Naririnig po ako.
Yes, Engineer.
Yes. Okay po. Pre-bid conference for Zamboanga International Airport Development Project CY 2021, repair of runway, grading of runway, strip, and rehabilitation of passenger terminal building with a bid number of 21-021-09 Charlie. So for the bid data sheet, ITB Clause 1, the procuring entity is Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. For ITB Clause 2, the source of fund is under GAA CY 2021 from the DOTR downloaded projects in the amount of 230,164,511 pesos and 72 centavos. For ITB Clause 3, Certificate of Site Inspection, duly signed by Engineer Roderick Togade, Officer in charge of Zamboanga Airport, or his duly authorized representative is required to be submitted. This shall include all the following documents as attachment to the Certificate of Site Inspection and shall form part of the bidder's technical documents, such as copy of company ID of the person who conducted the site inspection and copy of airport visitors logbook and a picture of the proposed site, including the personnel who conducted the site inspection, together with the airport manager. Wait lang po, nag-error. uh, or his duly authorized representative. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. This is the certificate site inspection form, and for the company ID, airport logbook for your reference. And for ITB clause 5.2, the bidder must have an experience of having completed a single largest completed contract that is similar to this project, equivalent to at least 50% of the ABC. For this purpose, contracts similar to the project refer to contracts which have the same major category support, which shall be category concreting of roads or other horizontal structures with an ABC of 172,860,591 pesos and 76 centavos. And also for building, construction, improvement, rehabilitation, and repair with an ABC of 31,502,062 pesos and 52 centavos. So for ITB clause 7.1, subcontracting is not allowed. So for ITB clause 10.1, bidder shall submit all eligibility and technical documents as specified in section 10 checklist of technical and financial documents. So for class A documents, under legal documents, the requirements are valid PhilJEPS registration certificate or registration certificate from the SEC, DTI, or CDA. Next, mayor's or business permit and tax clearance. So in connection to GPPB Circular 07-2017 dated 31 July 2017, the bidder shall have the following option. First, submit the certificate of PhilJEPS registration and platinum membership, including its Annex A, in lieu of the uploaded Class A eligibility documents identified in Section 8.5.2 of the revised Implementing Rules and Regulation, Republic Act 9184, provided that all Class A eligibility documents listed under the aforesaid Annex A are all uploaded and maintained current and updated in the PhilJEPS registry. Second, submit a combination of PhilJEPS registration platinum membership, including its Annex A and Class A eligibility documents identified in IRR RA 9184 in the event that the aforesaid Class A eligibility document listed in the Annex A of the PhilJEPS registration and platinum membership is or are reflected to be outdated. The bidder shall submit such current and updated Class A eligibility documents. Then for the third, submit all the Class A eligibility documents only, provided that the PhilJEPS registration and platinum membership shall be submitted as a post-qualification requirement in accordance with Section 34.2 of the IRR RA 9184. And for the technical documents, the following requirements are statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder's single largest completed contract, PCAB license or special PCAB license in case of joint ventures, and original copy of bid security. Also, for the project requirement, which shall include the following: organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, and list of contractors' major equipment units which are owned, leased, and or under purchase agreement. Also, the original duly signed omnibus sworn statement, which shall include the attachment of certificate under oath attesting that they have no pending cases against the government, legal clearance to be issued by the CAAP enforcement and legal service with respect to non-pending cases of the prospective bidders against this authority, and bid bulletins. Also, as mentioned earlier, the certificate of site inspection duly signed by Engineer Roderick Togade. So for the financial documents, the prospective bidder audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidder's total current asset and liabilities is received by the BIR or its duly accredited and authorized institutions. And the prospective bidder's computation of net financial contracting capacity. For Class B, documents, if applicable, duly signed joint venture agreement in accordance with RA number 4566 and its IRR in case of joint venture is already in existence. Applicable CAAP BAC standards forms included in this PBD shall be complied in accordance with the prescribed forms under Section 9 bidding forms, Annexes A and B. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. So for RTB Clause 10.3, valid pickup license or special pickup license in case of joint venture and registration. So for medium B, license category A for road and highways pavement, railways, airport, horizontal structure and bridges, and medium A, license category B for building and industrial plant. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. For ITB Clause 10.4, these are the minimum work experience requirement for key personnel. And for the minimum ITB Clause 10.5, for the minimum major equipment requirements are the following. So for 11.1, the discounts stated in the financial bid form shall be computer written with the same font style and size as the whole text of the said form. Discounts that are either handwritten, typewritten, or computer written in other font style and size shall not be considered. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. And for 11.1 ITB clause, the second bid envelope shall contain the financial documents for the bid as specified in the Section 10 checklist of technical and financial documents. This shall include the complete accomplishment of all the following documents as stated and required under Section 8 of the PBD and shall form part of the bidder's financial documents, such as original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, and bill of quantities, detailed breakdown of component of each item, detailed unit price analysis, summary sheet indicating the unit price, construction material, labor rates, and equipment rental used in upcoming with the bid, cash flow and payment schedule. Modification and or alteration or the stated requirements in the financial document forms shall not be allowed. Applicable CAAP BAC standard forms included in this PBD shall be complied in accordance with the prescribed form under Section 9, bidding forms, Annexes A and B. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. So for ITB Clause 11.2, bid exceeding the ABC of the project shall be disqualified. For 15.1, the bid security shall be in the form of bid securing declaration or any of the following forms and amount. The amount of not less than 2% of the ABC if bid security is in cash, cashier manager's check, bank draft guarantee, or a revocable letter of credit. And the amount of not less than 5% of ABC if bid security is in surety bond. For ITB Clause 16, each and every page thereof shall be initialed signed by the duly authorized representatives of the bidder. Submitted eligibility technical and financial documents shall be properly marked with index tabs and must be sequentially paginated in accurate order in the form, for example, page 3 of 100, page number of last page of the document. So pagination should be sequentially based on the entire span of the whole documents inside the envelope. Bids not complying with the above instructions shall be disqualified. So these are the sample illustration for the table of content, index tab, and the pagination. ITB Clause 16, each bidder shall submit one original and 2 copies of the first and second components of each bid. Sample illustration is 10 envelope system. Bids not complying shall be disqualified. All envelope must be labeled as follows: name of contract to be bid in capital letters, name of address of the bidder in capital letters, name of address of the procuring entity BAC identified in the ITB clause number 10.1, bear the specific identification of this bid process indicated in the invitation to bid, bear of warning, do not open before the date and the time for the opening of bid in accordance with ITB clause 21. The procuring entity address is Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines and addressed to Captain Donaldo A. Mendoza, Chairman, Bids and Award Committee, Charlie. And the address for submission of bid is Back Office, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. The deadline of submission of bid is at 21 September 2021, 29 September 2021, 2 p.m. The place of opening of bid is at CAAP Conference Room, Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines. For ITB Clause 19.2, partial bid is not allowed. For ITB Clause 20, the bidder with the lowest calculated bid that complies and is responsive to all the requirements and conditions shall submit its first latest income and business tax return filed through the electronic filing and payment system, business licenses and permits required by law, latest audited financial statement, and key personal licenses. For failure to submit any of the post-qualification requirements on time or finding against the veracity thereof shall disqualify the bidder for award, provided that in the event that finding against the veracity of the documents submitted is made, it shall cause the forfeiture of the bid security in accordance with Section 69 of the IRR of RA 9184. ITB Clause 21, the following relevant project documents are required to be submitted by the successful bidder who submitted the lowest calculated responsive bid as part of the contract agreement during its signing, such as construction schedule, bar chart and S-curve, PERT CPM network diagram, manpower schedule, construction methods, equipment utilization schedule. And also the construction safety health programs approved by the Department of Labor and Employment. So these are the CAAP BAC standard forms for Zamboanga project and the bid forms. Annex B. And now for the checklist of technical and financial documents. As discussed earlier in ITB 10.1 and 11.1 of the BDS, for the technical component envelope, Class A documents, the following are the required document. Valid field of registration or registration certificate from the SEC, DTI or CDA, mayor's permit, tax clearance, and for technical documents, statement of the prospective bidder of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder single largest completed contract, pickup license or special pickup license for joint venture, and original copy of bid security. And also the project requirements such as organizational chart for the contract to be bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment unit. And also original duly signed omnibus sworn statement with attachment of certification under oath, legal clearance, and bid bulletins. And also, as mentioned earlier, the certificate site inspection duly signed by Engineer Roderick Togade. So for the financial document, the prospective bidders audited financial statements showing, among others, the prospective bidders' total current asset and liability stamp received by the BIR, and the prospective bidders' computation of net financial contracting capacity. For Class B documents, if applicable, duly signed venture agreement in accordance with RA number 454566 and its IRR in case of joint venture. For the financial envelope, these are the following requirements: original of duly signed and accomplished financial bid form, original and duly signed bid price in the bill quantities, detailed breakdown components of each item, detailed unit price analysis, summary sheet indicating the unit price and construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals, cash flow, and payment schedule. So for the project technical details, the project has a duration of 480 calendar days, inclusive of 16 rainy and workable days. So these are the scopes of work: mobilization, demobilization, temporary facilities, including staff house, service vehicle, and for the repair of runway, including removal of existing pavement, cement concrete pavement, embankment, aggregate sub-base course, asphalt surface, asphalt binder, runway markings. And for the grading of runway strip, includes clearing and grubbing, excavation, and embankment. And for the rehabilitation of passenger terminal building, for under the civil structural works, include site works, concrete works, masonry works, steel works, moisture and thermal protection works. And for the architectural works, tile works, ceiling works, drywall partition, column cladding, painting works, doors and windows. And for the electrical works, includes wire conduit and boxes, lighting fixtures and wiring devices, panel board, feeder, wires and conduits, and termination accessories. And for the mechanical works, includes air conditioning unit, piping, hangers, and support. And for the plumbing works, include site works, storm drainage system, and catch basin. And also included in the scopes of work is the relocation of baggage claim carousel. This covered the installation of 2 new set rows of shutter door and dismantling and relocation of 2 units existing flat type baggage claim carousel. So for the general provisions, provision for staff house, service vehicle, laptops, printers, cameras, plotters, furniture, and other materials, devices, and equipment under special item in or temporary facilities shall not include OCM and contractor's profit. The contractor shall be responsible in providing safety perimeter fence or security fences, personal protective equipment for staff and workers on site while construction is ongoing. Safety reports should be prepared regularly. The contractor shall be responsible for all laboratory material testing, building and safety permits, and survey instrument necessary in the project implementation. These expenses shall be incorporated in the contractor's overhead costs and shall not be considered as pay item. So for the site development plan, this is the site development plan for Zamboanga Airport. And exterior perspective of the PTB. And the site development plan, repair of a runway. And the existing demolition plan of the PTB. That's all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Engineer. At this point, we open the floor for the questions from our bidders. Do we have bidders present online as well?
Yes, sir, we do have bidders.
Madami pala
present.
tayo dito. Sige, for everyone online and present in the conference room, If you have any questions, please raise it now.
Sir, our bidder here in the conference room has a question, sir. Sir, please
Go ahead.
I would just like to have to Robert Kirilla of United Builder as Zamboanga-based contractor. So I have some two items to ask. One is this regarding this plumber. Can we, instead of plumbing, the technical requirement of this, instead of plumbing, can we use our plumbing engineers instead this on the professional plumber?
Can you answer that? End user or TWG?
ADMS TWG, please. The prospective bidder is asking if the plumbing requirement instead
Personnel.
of if you can use plumbing engineers
Yes.
as compliance dun
To
sa
the
requirement.
technical requirement.
Engineer April or from ADMS, anybody from ADMS, please.
Instead of master plumber.
Through the chair, may I?
Go ahead, sir.
Sir, as per dun sa question na yung kung pwedeng paltan yung master plumber,
Yes.
yun po ba yung question, sir?
Yes. Instead of
Apo, bali po, hindi na po siya pwedeng paltan. Pwede po siyang, kung yung lisensya niya is galing ng TESDA or PRC.
sa PRC.
Pero yung master plumber po, hindi po pwede talagang paltan.
Hindi pwede palitan yung master plumber. It should be okay. Now, the question regarding it was mentioned that we all follow the Republic Act 9184, right? Now, under my observation, because it requires a site inspection, while in the 9184, it's not required anymore. So, I would like to ask for the clarification.
Mr. Chair, if I may respond to that.
Go ahead, Attorney Frank.
Yes, sir, we strictly observe the provisions of 9184 and its IRR, but the Philippine bidding document, sir, allows the procuring entity to provide modifications, specifications, and other requirements. And the site inspection is one of the additional requirements required by authority in order for the prospective bidders to assess and to make the proper calculation and the proper appreciation of the sites and the projects that they're going to do or they're going to involve into.
I'm sorry, but I disagree because like in other agencies, they don't require because it's very. What I'm trying to say is what is in the law provides what is not included, it is deemed excluded. So
Yes, sir. We understand that, sir. But the requirements or the Philippine bidding documents, sir, allows a modification or allows the procuring entity to make additional requirements, and site inspection is one of those. Kasi sir, ang nangyayari po kasi kung halimbawa hindi nakakapag-site inspection po ang isang contractor towards the implementation, sir, nagkakaroon ng ginagawang reason na hindi kasi namin nakita yung site kaya nagkakaroon ng variation order. That is why para po maging once and for all bago pa na umpisahan yung project, bago pa na sumali yung contractor sa bidding, nakita na niya yung site, na-appreciate na niya kung ano yung gagawin niya based on the contract, based on the plans, drawings, and the site inspection.
Well, I'm sorry again, I cannot agree because once a contractor participates in bidding, if any changes that he did not inspect during that is a contractor's risk.
Yes, sir.
We have been bringing
Yes,
that
sir.
attention
But it is the requirement of the procuring entity, sir, the site inspection, sir.
So
Attorney Frank, let's just cut this short. I don't think we're gonna agree on this. In any case, we've already said our position po on it. If you do have any objection, and you can put it in writing po, and we will endeavor to answer it. But at this point, kasi the pre-procurement conference is really more for clarifications on the technical and
Anyway,
aspects.
I'm
We
just
understand
checking
po your questions. Opo, but just in the interest kasi hindi na po mako-close yung issue kasi yun pa rin naman po ang sasagot ni Attorney Frank. With all due respect, Attorney Frank. Yun na lang po. Kung if you are requesting po, so we take it at you are requesting na tanggalin yung requirement ng inspection. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, because in the DPWS, they don't require another agency. Because that is
Yes, sir.
stated in
Opo.
the
We understand, sir.
I just want to clarify further because that is what we have been practicing. Because
Yes, sir. And we've already provided our answer po, sir, that we are requiring it, and we are requiring it for all other projects as well. So that is our answer po, sir. So in any case, if you still object on it, you can put it in writing po, sir, and formally submit your request po, sir, to the BAC so that we can decide on it on a proper meeting.
Anyway, I'm just bringing this to your attention, but anyway, we can easily get such inspection. Anyway, we are local.
Okay po.
I'm just bringing
Sige po.
attention because other agencies don't record it anymore.
Sige po. We'll look into it. Attorney Frank, can you look into it as well? Just make sure na we're all on the same page on this.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Look at it na lang, and then if need be necessary, mag-issue naman tayo ng bid bulletin. But at this point, we take in your query, sir, and your clarification. And Attorney Frank has already mentioned his position, and I'm instructing him to look further into it po, sir, if that's okay.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Sige po.
We'll comply.
Okay.
Okay.
Sige. May iba po tayong questions regarding the technical aspects in the bid documents.
Yes, good afternoon po, sir. This is Miss Alex, Engineer Alex Villanueva from Jamari Construction, sir.
Okay.
Meron sana din akong katanungan, sir, but actually it was been discussed earlier regarding dun sa key personnel, no, na master plumber. Ito, sir, sa master electrician, pwede din po ba na ma-replace natin as registered electrical engineer, sir, no?
Attorney Frank, our technical team, can you answer that? Is that similar, electrical engineer and then the plumber requirement? Pwede ba yun? Would that be a different scope of expertise? I think the purpose of requiring master plumber with the license is really to ensure the quality of the work that's going to be done relative to the plumbing aspect of the project.
No, actually, I was
Engineers,
referring sa
can we
master
answer it?
electrician. Sa master electrician po, sir, can we replace it
Okay.
as registered electrical engineer instead
Okay,
of master
sige.
electrician, not the master plumber po.
Okay, sige,
Apo.
sige. Engineers, can we address that concern, please?
Yes po, through the chair, may I?
Yes, sir.
Yung pong regarding sa master electrician, pwede rin po yun yung katulad na sa master plumber na pwedeng PRC license or sa test
Okay.
na
Okay, sige
Sige po.
po, sir. Thank you.
Sige po.
Okay.
Another
ma'am,
question, sir. Sige, sir.
plumber.
Yes. No worries, sir. Okay. Yes.
Sure. Sige, go ahead with your next question.
Yes. Another question po, sir. Regarding dun sa omnibus statement po, sir, kasi may naka-indicate po dito na this shall include all the following documents as attached to the omnibus statement. Anong ibig sabihin po nitong certification under OTA testing that they have no pending cases? Yung mag-secure po tayo ng certification sa CAAP at saka clearances po.
If I may respond to that, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Attorney Frank.
Yeah. Ma'am, ito pong certification, sir.
Opo.
Yan pong certification, ma'am, of no pending case against the government is just an affidavit or a certification issued by the executed by the bidder po, ma'am. While yung sa legal clearance naman po na sinasabi ninyo, yun po yung makukuha po ninyo dito sa amin, sa enforcement and legal service po namin. Pwede po ninyong makapag-request po kayo sa amin.
Magsabit lang po kami ng letter of request or kailangan personal pa, sir? Or pwede i-send na lang namin through email?
Pwede din pong through email, ma'am.
Through email na
Sige
lang
po,
po.
ma'am, para po sa online na request for legal clearance, we will issue a bid bulletin
Sige po, sir.
for this, ma'am, para po sa guidance po ng lahat ng prospective
Sige po, sir.
bidders po.
Okay, sige po. Sige po, attorney. Bali yung certification under oath, inclusive na po yun siya sa omnibus statement po natin. Except for the legal clearance po,
No,
separate
ma'am.
po siya.
Separate pa rin po yung document na po yun, ma'am. 3 documents po yun. Omnibus sworn
Okay,
statement,
okay.
and
Okay
then
po.
certification under oath that you do not
Okay.
have any pending case against the government.
Opo.
And pangatlo po, yung legal clearance. So, 3 different
Sige.
documents po yun, ma'am.
Okay.
Yung
3
dalawa po,
different
attachment lang po yun sa omnibus sworn statement.
Sige po, sir.
Clear po,
Sige
ma'am?
po, sir. Clear na po, sir.
Thank
Yun
you
nga yung
po.
tinanong ko. Opo. Sige, salamat po. Salamat.
Do you have any other questions?
Regarding yung clearance na walang pending case sa government, you mean to say yung contractor walang case against the government?
Yes, sir.
Attorney Frank can answer.
Yes, sir. That you do not have any pending case. You have no case against the government, or the government has not filed any case against you.
Okay.
Both, sir.
Both
So,
sides, because
yes.
you mentioned earlier that we don't have any case against the government. That's all. So it's both.
Against the government, and the government filing a case against you, against the contractor. So,
Okay.
both sides po.
Okay.
Thank you po.
Alright, thank you. Meron pa pong katanungan sa iba pong mga bidders? In any case, under the GPPB rules, you are allowed to submit your queries and clarifications in writing at least 10 days before the scheduled opening, which is, as I understand, on the 29th then, Attorney Frank, right?
Yes, sir. 29, sir.
September 29th. So you have 10 days before September 29th to submit your queries, and we will be answering all of it. So we recommend you check, you already look into the documents. They're already uploaded. And if you have questions on the technical aspect, just put it in writing and send it through our secretariat. So one last call. Do we have any questions for this session? If there's none, we can already close this conference, and we look forward to your submission of bids come the 29th. Maraming salamat po for attending. Meron pa, Attorney Irish?
Mr. Chair, there is still, I think one last question here, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead po.
All that was shown here, the requirement, are with the it's already in the bid document.
Yes, sir. The presentation is a summary of highlights lang po yon ng Philippine bidding documents po for this particular project.
So we just follow there.
You can all see the items na presented po dito doon po sa bid documents po natin. Yes po, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you po, sir.
All right. Sige po. Again, we look forward to your submission of bids. Thank you for attending this pre-bid conference. Let's already move forward. Secretariat, can we already dismiss the attendees? Thank you po once again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Attorney Rob.
Thank you po.
Thank you.
Sir, may other agenda pa po tayo.
Sir, hindi pa tayo tapos, sir. Tapos lang yung item, pero meron pa tayo isa.
Uwi na si sir eh.
As a budget hearing ka ba, sir? Napagod ka ba? Daming tanong, no?
Grabe, buti nga. Yung sagot ni Atty. Dan, nabatuan din namin siya ng yung figures na binigay. Batuan din namin siya ng eksakong yung layout na sa
Okay na yun, sir. At least nasagot naman. Tsaka mainit ang ulo nila sa road sector eh. So, hindi tayo masyadong na, ano, pag-initan. Anyway, have we already dismissed the bidders?
Yes, sir, we are here po.
Sige, let's move on to the last item in the agenda for other matters. Attorney Frank, may nire-request kang idagdag, di ba?
Yes, sir. We're requesting to present the post-qualification report for the Bouton Airport Development Project if the BAC committee would allow us.
Go ahead para we can move forward with it. Since ano lang naman to, di ba? Report lang.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay. Sige.
Okay na. Wait. How about that? Ay, wala pa na. Bakit ayaw? We're just waiting to load, sir. Okay. Good afternoon again, Mr. Chair, and to the members of the committee. On behalf of the Technical Working Group, I will be presenting the post-qualification evaluation report for the project, Bouton Airport Development Project, which is for the expansion of passenger terminal building. And the approved budget for this contract is, 22,347,533 pesos and 19 centavos. And the bids were opened last August 20, 2021. And after the bid evaluation, the lowest calculated bid is from Jodel Construction Supply and Merchandise in the amount of 17,652,405 pesos and 13 centavos. So here are the findings of our evaluation. For the eligibility documents, the PhilJAP Certificate of Registration, Jodel submitted a PhilJAP's Platinum certificate from PhilJAPs, which was issued last 16 February 2021 and valid until March 13, 2022, so it is responsive. For registration certificate, they submitted a DTI Certificate of Registration with registration number 045266614 and valid until February 8, 2022. It is responsive. For the mayors or business permit, they submitted a business permit issued by the City of Bouton last January 7, and it is valid until December 31, 2021. So it is responsive. Tax clearance, they submitted a tax clearance certificate, which was issued last 22 January 2021 and valid 22 January 2022. So it is responsive. For the pickup license, they submitted a pickup license with a general building C category with a small B license for building and industrial plant, and it is valid until June 30, 2022, so it is responsive. For statement of all ongoing government and private contracts, they included in the submitted list 4 ongoing government projects. And in our evaluation, there are no slippages more than negative 15%, and no slippage more than negative 10%. So The submission is responsive. For the SLCC, the project submitted is the construction of new health center, for which the project is a building or building construction, and it is located in Barangay Bilay, Butuan City, and the contract amount is 12,369,343,000 pesos and 47 centavos. So the submitted project is similar to the contract to be bid, and the contract price is more than 50% of the ABC. For the audited financial statement, they submitted a financial statement for the fiscal year 2019-2020, and it was stamped received by the BIR March 12, 2020, so it is responsive. The bidder's computation for its NFCC, the NFCC of Jodel is in the amount of 137,331 pesos 886 331,886 pesos and 92 centavos. It is more than the ABC of the project. So joint venture agreement is not applicable in this case. And we go now to the technical documents. Bid security, they submitted a duly notarized bid securing declaration. It is responsive. For the organizational chart, they met the minimum required technical personnel as per invitation to bid, so it is also responsive. List of contractors personnel. The submitted personnel to be assigned for this project met the minimum required technical personnel as per invitation to bid, so it is responsive. For list of contractors equipment units, we checked the submitted documents, and the required minimum equipment as per ITB was also met, so they are responsive. Omnibus sworn statement, and they submitted a duly notarized omnibus sworn statement. It is responsive. For the site certificate of site inspection, they submitted a certificate of site inspection which was issued to Mr. Joselito Abellana last August 6, 2021, and the same was issued by Manager Evangeline Daba of Butuan Airport, so it is responsive. Attached to the certificate of site inspection is a photocopy ID of Mr. Joselito Abellana in compliance with the company ID requirement, so it is responsive. For the photocopy of the airport visitors logbook, they also attached the visitors logbook of Butuan Airport with an entry of the site inspection which was conducted by Mr. Abellana, so it is responsive. For the financial documents, financial bid form, they offered a bid of 22,344,816 pesos and 62 centavos with 21% discount. So applying the discount price, the offered bid now is 17,652,405 pesos and 13 centavos. After bid evaluation, the calculated bid applying the 21% discount is 17,652,421 pesos and 89 centavos. So a difference of 2,695 pesos and 38 centavos from the ABC of the project. So it is responsive. It is within the ABC. For the bill of quantities, they submitted, Jodel submitted bill of quantities in accordance with the Philippine bidding form, section 9. So it is responsive. For the bid proposal, it's also in accordance with section 9 bidding forms of the PBD. So it is also responsive. Detailed estimates. The submission is in accordance with the bidding forms and it is responsive. Summary sheet. The submission is also responsive as it is in accordance with Section 9 bidding forms. Cash flow by quarter and payment schedule. They also submitted the document which is in accordance with the bidding form, so it is responsive. So the technical working group conducted also the post-qualification visit and evaluation, as well as inspected the site and equipment of Jodel Construction and Merchandise. So they submitted the post-qualification documents within 5 calendar days as required under Section 28.2 of the ITB and also in the IRR of 9184. They submitted the latest income and business tax return for the payment for business tax period December 20, 2020, and it is stamped received by the BIR April 14, 2021, so it is responsive. For other appropriate licenses, they submitted the PhilJEP's certificate of registration, PCAB license, SEC registration, mayor's permit, and tax clearance, and we are able to verify all these submissions during the post-qualification visit, and we verify the veracity of the document. For the so it is responsive. The latest audited financial statement, the AFS for fiscal year 2019-2020 was submitted, and it is stamped received by the BIR May 3, 2021, so it is responsive. Key personnel licenses, we checked all the documents, licenses of the personnel to be assigned for the project, and they are all recent, valid, and responsive to the requirements of the authority. So with that, Mr. Chair, the bid proposal of Jodel Construction Supply and General Merchandise was evaluated to have offered the lowest calculated responsive bid for having complied with the legal, technical, and financial requirements for the project. However, be it noted that during the opening of bids last August 20, the submitted price of Jodel Construction is lower than the calculated bid. So, as per Section 34.4 of the IRR, revised IRR of 9184, whichever is the lower between the submitted bid and the calculated bid, the submitted bid price, or the lower, the contract shall be based on the lower price between the calculated bid and the submitted bid. So with that, the technical working group hereby recommends to award the contract for the Bouton Airport Development Project, expansion of passenger terminal building, to Jodel Construction Supply and Merchandise, being the lowest calculated responsive bid in the amount of 17,652,405 pesos and 13 centavos for consideration and approval of the Bids and Awards Committee, Charlie. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Attorney Frank. So there's a recommendation for the award of the project based on the presentation. Do you have any comments or questions from the members? If there's none, we can have a motion on this. Members?
Would the chair like to make a motion?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
I move to adopt the TW recommendation to recommend the award of the contract of the Bouton Airport Development Project to Jodel Construction Supply and Merchandise.
Thank you, Ma'am Dayan. Is there any second?
I second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. Maraming salamat. There being a motion being seconded, this project for the Bouton Airport Development is hereby awarded to, let me just get the name correctly, Jodel, no? Tama?
Yes, sir.
Wala kasi sa recommendation. Nasulat ba? Hindi ko mabasa.
Jodel Construction Supply and Merchandise, sir.
Saan dito? In the one, ayun, there you go. Okay. So let there being a motion duly seconded, let this project, Bouton Airport Development Project, be accordingly awarded to Jodel Construction Supply and Merchandise for having submitted the lowest calculated responsive bid for the project. Okay, so we'll just notify them. I will issue the notice as soon as we can, Attorney Frank, so not to delay the project.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Is there anything else
Sir,
for the
one
other
last,
matters?
sir.
Ano yun?
We received a motion for reconsideration from Edwanson Development Construction. This is for the Kawayan Airport Development Project expansion of passenger terminal building with bid number 21-011-07. So,
Edwardson was disqualified?
yeah, we disqualify Edwanson, sir, for they submitted an irregular and dubious documents. And based on, sir, allow me to read their short motion for consideration. So,
go ahead, please.
The content of the MR are as follows. In reference with the post-disqualification of the aforementioned project, we are asking for reconsideration where we found non-responsive on the following grounds. Submitted irregular notice of award, notice to proceed, and contract agreement for the project upgrading and improvement of Opol, Basak, Bagokbok, Tingalan Provincial Road. Number 2, submitted an undated certificate of acceptance, submitted certificate of completion with missing, lacking material dates, inconsistent dates indicated in the SLCC form. All the supporting documents that are attached in the bidding are faithfully true and correct coming from the respective agencies. We are requesting from your good office if we can submit the original contracts of our ongoing completed for your reference about the inconsistent dates indicated in the SLCC form. We apologize that it was a typographical error on our part. Thank you very much for your kind assistance and consideration regarding this matter. Again, the letter is signed by the President of Edwanson, Eldon Ferdinand Uy. But for the TWG, sir, we prepared a letter reply, and it is our recommendation, sir, to deny the motion for reconsideration on the fact that Edwanson actually failed to justify why there are inconsistencies and there are missing dates in the document that they submitted. So in our reply, we emphasized here that our review, the technical working group, reviewed the documents, and the same review yielded no changes in its findings that said documents contain inconsistencies in dates and which render the document doubtful and irregular. Also, sir, they failed to submit in the post-qualification document statement identifying the single largest completed contract and the updated status of all ongoing contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started. So, with that, we are denying their MR, sir. Thank you po.
Sorry, nakamute pala ako. Just to backtrack a little bit just for the information of the members para we can make a sound decision on the matter. Ano ba yung documents na pinag-uusapan natin dito and what were the inconsistencies again?
Sir, allow me to...
Hindi ba acceptable yung typographical, I mean, they did provide a reason which is a typographical error. I mean, does it not suffice? Ano ba yung errors na pinag-uusapan?
Sir, i-share ko po yung letter po natin sa M1 DQ letter. Sir, number 1, yung sa statement of all ongoing government contracts nila, yung sinubmit po nila na notice of award, notice to proceed, and contract agreement, magkakaiba po yung dates na nasa technical at saka dates na nasa post-qualification submission nila. So, bali, same project amount, same purchase agreement, pero magkakaibang date po. But when we verify during our visit sa site po nila, they were not able to provide justification bakit magkakaiba po yung mga dates ng mga notice to NTP, NOAA at saka contract agreement. considering na iisang agency lang naman at saka iisang project lang naman to. So, hindi po nila na-substantiate po yung findings na yon. And then sa SLCC din naman po, yung certificate of acceptance nila, undated, pero yung project po nila, September 22, 2020 yung completion, ibig po sabihin nun, yung certificate of acceptance, mangyayari lamang September 22, 2021, which is hindi pa po tapos. So, kaya undated po yung mga certificate of acceptance, completion, and acceptance po nila.
Okay, this project, saan tong project na to?
Kawayan, sir.
Anong project?
Kawayan Airport.
Hindi, yung sa sinabit nila. This is for, I reckon this is for the similar contract.
DPWH, sir. Marikina project to, sir.
DPWH.
Yes po.
And we could not verify it with DPWH either.
Yes, sir. Hindi sila nagbigay ng explanation, and yung verification din po, hindi nagre-respond po yung agency sa atin po.
But we have tried.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then this issue was raised to them already when we did the examination sa site nila, tama? As
Yes, sir.
we said earlier.
Pumunta po kami dun sa office po nila sa Quezon City, and then pinakita po namin yung mga inconsistencies. Tinanong po namin bakit merong ganito, dalawang date, isang notice of award, iisang notice of award, dalawang documents, magkaiba yung dates. Hindi po nila mabigyan ng justification or explanation kung bakit.
Okay. Since there's already been a lot of effort pala involved in trying to resolve this.
And also, sir,
yes.
Sir, in their MR, sir, wala pong justification. Sinabi lang nila na faithfully true and correct lang po. Walang explanation kung bakit.
Hindi rin sila nag-provide in which is the proper date in which is walang ganon.
Yes, sir.
Kasi sabi nila typo, di ba?
Yes po, sir.
So they should have provided us kung ano ba yung tama. Kung if that's the case, kung typo yan. They did not. Okay. Do we have any questions from our other members? Ako, I just wanted to make sure kasi kung approved project talaga yan sa DPWH and natapos yung project, parang ang alanganin kasi we're saying it's dubious. So we're also questioning the validity of the project. That's why I was asking if we have consulted with DPWH kasi project nila yan. But apparently we have, and we have not received any response. So I think we have exerted enough effort on our end. Hindi naman natin trabaho patunayan na tama yung documents nila. So I'm okay with the answer. For the other members, do we have any more comments or clarifications? If there's none, maybe we can have a motion, please. Anong status nito, Attorney Frank? Nag-fail ba to? Tama?
Hindi pa po, sir.
Not
kami?
yet.
We are now conducting the post-qualification nung second
For the
lowest.
second lowest. Okay. That's ongoing. Wala pa tayong presentation on that
Wala pa,
part.
sir. We are waiting for the post-qualification document submission.
Okay. Sige. May comments po ba sa members? If wala na po, we can have a motion to adopt the letter recommendation by PWG.
Would the chair like to make a motion?
Yes, Ma'am Dayan.
Okay. I'd like to move that to adopt the recommendation of the TWG to deny the request of Edwinson for reconsideration.
Yeah, thank you, Ma'am. Is there any second po?
Second the motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, sir. There being a motion duly seconded, the MR of Edwinson is hereby denied. Adopting the recommendation of TWG will issue this letter as presented. So, Attorney Frank, let's just have this signed accordingly and we can issue it already.
Yes, sir. Will comply.
All right. Wala na other matters.
None from the TWG, sir.
None also
Secretariat, do you have anything to announce?
None also from the
How about
Secretariat.
schedule?
For our next schedule, sir, it will be on September 24, sir, for the opening of Tacloban Phase 2. And our next, sir, would be on September 29. It would be the opening of the 3 projects that was... 27 is for the Bukidnon Phase 3, sir. And the
Ano?
next...
29?
Yes, sir. September 29 would be the opening of the 3 projects that we just had
Nag-pre-bid
our
today.
pre-bid, yes, sir.
Okay. And then 27 is Bukidnon.
Bukidnon, sir. This is in the afternoon, sir.
27, 28. Okay. Sige. If there's no more items in the agenda, there's no more other matters, let's already adjourn the meeting. Thank you po for attending, member. Sir Jonix, pwede ka na mag-thank you. Ng totoo.
Thank you, attorney.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am Dayan. Sir Ken, maraming salamat po for attending. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sige po. Keep safe,
Thank you po sa
everyone.
inyo lahat. Good afternoon po.
Attorney, bagay daw yung gupit mo.
Sir, hinahanap
Attorney
naman
Frank,
ang
local pala. Local yung kanina.